Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to today's reading. I have pre-shuffled your deck, lots and lots and lots. Let's get started. Let's not waste any time here. What messages does Spirit have for you today? Is my deck upside down? Yes, it is. I'm going to flip these up. Or we're going to be reading reversals for your whole deck. That would not be so cool. I do read reversals. I think there's always critical information in there. There's one interesting. In the pre-shuffle, this card did jump out at me. Obviously meant to come out at this time then. Four of Forces. So we're looking at spring, autumn for a timeline here on the bottom of the deck. What is going on? So it looks like we've got two people here that I'm going to focus on today. We've got the King of Forces and we've got the Queen of Forces, okay? The King of Forces, in my mind, it always reminds me of earth signs, Aquarius, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It doesn't have to be, but that's certainly the feel that I get off of this card. The Queen of Roses is someone that I would describe as a water sign or has those tendencies. So Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. So you're one of these two people here. I kind of feel like I'm reading for you here. So again, not gender specific, just masculine and feminine energies. If I were to describe you, I would describe you as a type of person that's very gentle, very caring and loving, who likes to surround themselves with simple beauty, honestly. Um, yeah, there's just a very soft energy about you. I think you kind of get lost in your emotions a lot. Kind of that wispiness, I'm going to describe it as. Okay. And you've been thinking a lot about love. Love is definitely on the brain for you here. The King of Forces, in contrast, this person, like I said, they're of an earthier quality to them. So if they don't actually have earth in their chart, it's just an earthier quality. This person, it's kind of my dark and stormy card. So this person is prone to moods that can shift quite quickly, or prolonged periods of kind of just low mood, maybe short tempered, that sort of thing. It's They're a wonderful person. They're a beautiful, grounded person. I don't know if this is a mental health issue that they might have of some sort, but they are prone to these darker moods, and during these times, they tend to withdraw. They might find themselves in nature. Typically, this person represents someone that needs that quiet time to themselves to think and to kind of calm their emotions and stuff. And nature is where they're going to find that. Okay. Um, I can't help but notice the two opposing tables here. You know, there's sense of this table is empty. Okay, it's very peaceful. It's very hopeful. There's a lot of love in this card, but nobody's coming to the table, if you will. In contrast to the Eight of Roses, where we've got, you know, this sense of community and this sense of great time. It's almost like this person is looking back in time, when there was this sense of community. There was this sense of just togetherness, harmony, good times, just a brightness to life. So I don't know if they're in a really dark spot right now, or if this is you, if you're in a really dark spot and you're looking back on these times and reminiscing and really kind of missing it. I don't know if the two of you have been through a separation, but you've both left the table, is kind of the expression that I keep hearing is, you know, someone needs to come to the table and you've both left, okay? And this person's certainly thinking about good times. I do really feel like this involves you, you know, that what they're looking back at here. Um, you're looking towards a fated meeting, and I can't help but notice this card is in reverse, and so this card is kind of like it's like the lovers or the two of cups, in Rider Waite system, right? Where it was a fated meeting, it was meant to be. It was kind of like, how do I say? Because I'm looking at the clock that's striking 12, and it's just like right place, right time. Like it couldn't have been lined up more perfectly, sort of thing. And we're looking at some loss though, because we're having a situation where you or your person are thinking about this and starting to think that this wasn't what you thought it was. This actually wasn't meant to be. It seemed so right. It seemed so perfect. It seemed like it was destined to be. And it ended up not being that way. I think you had really high hopes in this relationship. I think that you had hoped for a family with this person, children, a piece of property, the dog in the background, the sun is shining, like everything is good, and it didn't turn out that way. So what I'm really seeing here is these two different energies of these two people thinking back on things, and there is some sadness. I do feel like there is a level of sadness looking back and thinking, I missed this, or this wasn't meant to be, and I thought for sure that it was. There is some sadness there. I think what Spirit's wanting to tell you is, while this relationship might have ended, or you might be on a break or something like that, to not see that as something that wasn't meant to be, or was a failure, or wasn't fated after all. I think they're saying that quite the opposite with this card here. You two were brought together to learn things from each other, to be able to almost, I'm getting today like this is a heal your childhood wounds card. Okay, I think by coming together, the two of you were able to, or going to be able to, or in the process of becoming the best versions of yourselves. Okay, bringing balance into your life. Without the two of you coming into each other's life, you wouldn't have been able to achieve this balance. You wouldn't have been able to kind of spread your wings and become the person that you are. You might not have been able to go back and heal some of these childhood wounds from the past. And so I think this is just Spirit's way of saying that although the two of you have left this, that, you've left the table, if you will, there's some really beautiful messages coming in that really think about, instead of focusing on what was, right, or what didn't come to fruition, start thinking about the things that did bring you together, the things that you learned from each other, and the things that you can take forward into your next relationship. Okay. I don't know what significance that spring or autumn holds for you, but it is showing that in this card here. I don't know if your relationship started in spring and maybe ended in the autumn, or vice versa, but that's just, this card I think serves as confirmation for somebody who needs to hear this message. I'm going to go ahead and get Sahara Rose's deck here, a Yogic Path, and just pull a message for you from that deck. I find her messages are so lovely, and they really do resonate with the overall theme of each reading. I don't know how that works, but I guess that's Spirit for you, right? I'm keeping the messages a little bit shorter today, just to see if that resonates with people a little bit more, just kind of getting to the point. Aquarius, I don't really feel like there's a need to prattle on about things if the message is quite clear. I do believe in just giving what comes through and going from there. If you're wanting more detail about something, about your own personal situation, I am accepting personal readings at this time, so we can go through things in a little more detail with that. I might also start like a Vimeo section for Patreons in the future as well, to get into extended readings for those of you that may not be looking for something as personal as a one-to-one reading here. Spirit, what messages do we have for Aquarius here? You've got 3. I'm actually going to take all 3. Got a few in reverse. So we've got Buddha in reverse, Vata in reverse. It's interesting about it, you know, is air, and you are an air sign, and Sattva in the upright. All right, let's see what the book has to say. I do read from the book because her messages are absolutely beautiful. I find these cards really hard to read from intuitively, so why reinvent the wheel? Um, Buddha, one who is aware. We live in a glitzy world where it's easy to become caught up in things, possessions, appearances, money, and relationships. While these things are not inherently bad, as nothing is, they often inhibit us from remembering our own truth, who we are without these things. Find a tree and spend some time meditating beneath its earthly wisdom. Let her branches speak the truth that your mind is overlooking. Envision what your life would be without these things and let go of those that are holding you back. All is temporary except for your soul. Beautiful. So it really is, again, in line with what Spirit's saying about taking that time and looking at things from a different perspective, right? Things that you might have been overlooking previously when you're so caught up, you know, in the ending of something. Vata 31. Vata, again, is the airy dosha, creative, imaginative, and unpredictable. Aquarius. When there's too much wind, a tornado ensues. The many ideas floating through your mind have not been anchored, leaving you feeling scattered, anxious, and ungrounded. Every idea is a seed that can only grow when planted. Reconnect with the earth, your physical body, and your root chakra. Consume grounding root vegetables, which connect to the earth. Walk on the soil barefoot to rebalance your iconic charge. Sorry, not your iconic charge, your ionic charge. Meditate on your belly and imagine yourself drinking in the earth's energy. Focus on one step at a time and do not feel overwhelmed by the enormity of life. There is always more time if you allow there to be. Okay, I really feel like that speaks to Buddha's card as well. That call to action. Sattva. Sattva is purity and clarity. You've let go of the things that were holding you back and are reaching deeper. Oh my goodness, sorry you guys, I'm having such a hard time with my speech today. You are reaching deeper levels of clarity. Maybe you've cleaned up your diet, home, self-care products, relationships, thought patterns, career goals, or life outlook, and are now experiencing the joys that come with purity, sattva. The space you have created is allowing greater gifts that are more aligned with your truth to present themselves. Continue on this path toward clarity by shedding all that is no longer serving you. When your body becomes pure, your thoughts and life will reflect that. Bring sattva, purity, into all that you do, and your path will continue to become more clear. I'm just feeling really ungrounded right now. So I don't know if you've been feeling that way, Aquarius, where you kind of get up in your head right here. And it's really hard to anchor your thoughts. You might have to read a passage in a book several times before it sinks in. You might have to hear something several times. So really this call to action to get grounded within yourself, you know, following the advice. I'm not going to rehash it all because I just read it. But yeah, I hope that resonated for you today, Aquarius. I wish you all the best going forward. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and share with others. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.